you go. Yeah.
Oh, there, am I in there now? Hi, Simon. Thanks. Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's great to be here. First time we're doing this. Gives it a real nice little edge where we can interact with everyone. So looking forward to answering your questions or having a bit of a chat. How did I first become involved with Vegepod? Yeah, well, look, Vegepod was the original Vegepod itself, and I'm talking to 3 models ago, was invented by my business partner, Matt Harris, who now lives in the USA, head of product development, and his brother, Paul, who's our CEO, global CEO. I worked for him, so I was his operations manager and sales director back in corporate days, and we worked together for about 6 years. He's the man that I've trusted most in all of my working career. And when he said, my brother's got this great invention coming, and it might be a way for us to get out of big corporate, do you want to go and have a look at it? I said, you bet. And Paul and I then chatted with Matt. He needed a bit of investment to get to the next level and a couple of different skill sets all joining together. And so that's how the 3 musketeers came together. So that was about 8 years ago for us 3. And Matt had scratched around for his first couple of years inventing. And ever since then, we've formed a great team. And it's been a wonderful journey for us. And it's not just us 3 anymore, of course. It's a global family of friends, close old industry counterparts, and people that have just enjoyed the Grow Your Food movement. So I'm just one cog in this beautiful family Vegepod wheel now. Why is spring the best time to get back into the garden? Well, look, it's about range, really. Spring is the time where you're going to be able to grow the most. Yes, we can grow in winter. Yes, there's only certain vegetables that you can grow in the cooler months. But if you want that real broad range, it's nice to be outside. Just like us as humans, we love that beautiful spring and coming out into the weather. So do most of the edible heroes. You know, the tomatoes, the strawberries, all your leafy greens, they all come out in spring. So we've got a great range, and it really is a nice time to get growing. So it's our number one for sure. What are some simple ways to get your Vegepod going? Well, look, it is spring now. I wouldn't get too complex. A few things that I will say to people is, one, what do you eat? And it's usually those heroes, isn't it? Tomatoes and strawberries, they're both hardy. Also, if we just stick to some of those culinary herbs, they're also hardy. So think about those garnishes and herbs that you use a lot. Parsley, maybe you're one of the coriander fans. I know it's 50-50 split. Lettuces, all your lettuce mix, your cos lettuces and your mesclun mix, they're usually favourites, and we can use them regularly. Also, in a Vegepod, they're very well protected, and they're also very hardy within the microclimate. So I would be going for something along those lines. But remember, to get your Vegepod going well and quickly is to make sure you get that good soil, which I mentioned in the show before. And I'm not here to push a brand, because there are many different brands that do it. But look for that that logo there, the premium potting mix. Don't try to get fancy stuff. Don't try to look at what's written on the box saying this is a super best and this is organic. Look for that premium certification on your bag of premium potting mix, and you'll be pretty well guaranteed to go. The other thing too is get it in the sunny position in your house. It might not always be the first spot you want to put it in. You might be thinking, well, I don't want it near the pool, or I don't want it in the front yard. But if that's where you're getting the most sun, be bold. Grow where you get good sun. Grow it in the premium potting mix. Grow some of those hardy ones that you eat a lot, and easy, you will be growing. How simple is it to set up a Vegepod? Yeah, good question. Actually, what we might do is I'll bring you inside into the hallowed turf or the bowels of Vegepod shed quarters here, because it'll show you how much easier it is to build than any other raised garden bed, which you have to, by the way. You get tools, you need a lot of strength, you need to be handy. One of the beauties of Vegepods are that they are simple, and that they are, whether you're 5 years old or 85 years old, with a bit of help, everyone can do it. And we have great videos. Let me show you. Scott, make yourself useful and come over here and hold it for me, would you? I'm going to show how this pops open. So this is the inside of the large Vegepod, which we were just talking about. If you come down here, you'll notice that it's all modular. Bring it in closer, Scott.
Can I put the camera on?
These are all modular walls, right? So the walls simply go over these base trays, right? This is what you're going to look at. They all go, bring it in closer again, Scott, so they can see. You can see it off that one there.
Oh, right.
See it in here. There is the walls, right? They simply slide down, and you're popping the bolts, and then underneath here, look, they are just wing nuts, right? So a little bit of fine motor skill, no strength. You don't have to be a handy person with a trained trade. Same with the canopy. No tools, right? It's like a tent. The poles pop into each other into the connectors. You wrap it down and around, and it's Velcro. That's how your mesh gets on. And if you look inside, again, no tools for the misters. They're just zip ties. Zip it up, bang, 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 you're done. And then you come down to the steel stands. Again, you don't have to have any special tools yourself. It comes with its own Allen key. Can you get in there close, Sky? See, just simply wrap it down and around. So you do not have to have a toolkit at home. You do not have to be handy. You do not have to be strong. Watch our videos. It's under support and set up on our website, and you can do it. The people that fail, the people that don't look at the videos or don't read the instruction, funnily enough, it's usually the handy blokes that fail. And look how they pack, mind you. Come around the back of your slide. Believe it or not, there is the large Vegepod packed right there. That's how they flat pack down. You're going to need to angle it down. Yeah, there you go. There's the stand. Right, stand. There's the pod. That's how it comes. So if you've only got a two-door car at home, you can still you can sit it on the front seat or in the back seat and still take them over to your friend's place or over for Christmas when you're ready to do that part. Easy, no tools, and all nice, safe materials, by the way. What's your favourite Vegepod? Well, if you put it to there, you'll be able to see where they're looking at. Well, for me, in terms of size, I guess if you're asking size, my favourites are large because I don't like to muck around. Big is beautiful, and you can do more in a large. If you're going to do your tomatoes and those big blueberries like I got outside, they're going to take up a bit of room, but I want to grow them. So large is my favourite. Having said that, at my own home, I have mediums as well because they do have trolley options. So on my deck, I'm able to move the medium around, get it out of the way when I'm having a barbecue, or in winter, because the sun goes a bit lower, I don't get it on the far side of my balcony anymore. So then I bring it over to this side and chase the sun. So it's got its place in my heart, the medium on the trolley. But if in terms of a favourite size, Vegepod large because you can grow more. What are the benefits of Vegepod and growing your own fresh food? Well, as I sort of waxed lyrical just before, the real main benefit of Vegepod, if you like, is that it's almost fail-proof. We've taken away the pain points. I mean, I shouldn't say we really. I mean, Matt invented it. So, look, he was a failing gardener, and every time he was having a problem, he's going, I'm not going to put up with this. And so he invented the modular self-watering wicking at the bottom, but that wasn't enough. He was still getting attacked by pests, so he put over a loose canopy. That wasn't good enough because the smaller ones were still getting in, so he put a finer mesh, and then he realised he wanted to water whilst the mesh was down, so he put in the mist spray. He then realised we didn't have any stands for the first 4 or 5 years, mind you, and we got sick of getting down on our knees and up, bending over as well. So the stands were invented. It's been a constant evolution of all of these features. So is it one feature in particular? No. What people love about the benefits of Vegepod is this all-in-one encompassing solution that solves it all. Pests, weeds, weather, bending over, safety, organics, accessibility, flat pack, easy. wind, rain, cold, summer, snow, city, country, male, female, young, old, it doesn't matter. The benefit of Vegepod, if you probably wrapped it up in one, is that it allows absolutely everybody to grow anywhere. So that next question. What are the best plants to grow in spring in Australia? Well, I'd start getting your summer veg going. For me, the hero of all vegetable gardening is tomato. You can either eat them fresh, straight off. You can have the cherries. You can have the big heirlooms. You can make a passata. You can make a gazpacho. You can put them in tomato soups. They're just unreal, aren't they? Put them on the barbecue. I love Tommies. My other ones, particularly on the fruit side, are my red lollies. These are my big ones, by the way. My Luanas, but I also love the little alpine strawberries, the little French kisses, because they just proliferate and they don't hang down and touch the soil. Because you notice what I've done here, I'm actually using the oregano to rest the strawberries on, because if they rest on the soil, they can start rotting. People often put mulch underneath. I've been just using the oregano to go on top. But strawberries, the little ones, French kisses, alpines, they grow all year round. They're just like a constant supply of lollies. I also love my lettuces, right? Because I eat salads pretty well every night of the year. Whether I'm having a steak, whether I'm having an ossobuco, even the cold weather stuff. I also have a nice few fresh greens. Be that lettuce, be that rocket, be that mizuna, be that one of my favourites. Here's another little tip for you. Look out for French sorrel. It grows all year round too. It's another salad green, but it's got this little lemony zest that pops in your mouth in between all your other staples of your spinach and your rockets. Try lemon sorrel, French sorrel, great stuff. Celery, it's another great one to get cracking because you can keep growing it. So I've started growing this now. By summer, she will be up and big and beautiful. So look, they're probably my favourites at the moment, but that changes every year as well, I've got to be said. Okay, what have we got coming up next, have we? Might as well take for a tour while we're going around here as well, right?
Can you put the camera down at all?
What's that?
Are you able to put the camera at all so I can see what people
I don't think you can. Okay, what can we find you doing when you're not hosting shows at TVSF? Well, okay, bit of a private life, eh? Well, I garden a lot at home. The kids always shake their heads and going, what are you doing? It's your day off and you're out there gardening and in your Vegepods. It's fun. In my other hobbies, I like to surf. Luckily, I live near the beach here and I grew up in the far north coast, so surfing's always been a big part of my life. We're just getting down to the beach and cooking. And I think everybody who starts getting into Vegepod and gardening, edible gardening, it's no biggie, obviously, to understand why you take one small step and you get right into your cooking because you start to use all this. So cooking, surfing, hanging out with family, and gardening, they're probably my big ones. Jeez, the wrinkles are looking more and more when I get up close. Look at that. That's from the surfing and the gardening as well, guys.
Wear sun cream.
I should do that. Oh, look at my Indigenous plants over here too. Look at that, she's coming out again, right? So I'm starting to do a lot of Indigenous edibles now as well. I'm really getting into it. This here is actually an Indigenous peanut tree. It's outgrown the canopy that I had, like this one next to it, but I've used it as the starter for it, and look at it going now. It just booms up. I've also got here's some more of the celery, the Joa plant going berserk. We've got our veggie bags here, by the way. Some more grandiflorum, which is like the Indigenous chewing gum. Freshens up the mouth. They must have used this before they did their French kisses. Here's your limes, native limes. I've got rhubarb, another Indigenous plant, the black apple, pineapple sage. Smell that, Sky. Smells like juicy fruit.
Yep.
Asparagus. Going berserk. Broad beans. Over here, I've got more Indigenous. This is the Davison plum. So I've just taken the canopy off this show so you can see it easy. There's my midgeonberry. Beautiful. Now, here's a good old standard garlic chives. That's something separate. So as you can see, once you start getting 1 or 2 pods, your mind just starts blowing and you just want to keep growing more and more. And it's really up to what your interests are. Oh, over here too. Once you get into gardening and edible gardening, you're obviously getting into the ecosystem a lot more as well. I've got European honeybees over here. I've also got, look at this, you can probably get in close to these ones. Look at these beautiful native bees. Can you see, I call them, they're called pollen pants. See the little bits of pollen stuck to the back of the bees' legs there? So these are native bees. They don't sting, but they're great little pollinators because they're tiny. They can get in really small spaces. So that's part of our natural ecosystem. So, you know, obviously that's sort of the stuff that Vegepods and gardening are going to bring you out to. You're going to expand. You're going to get into that whole ecosystem that makes our beautiful vegetables survive and thrive. When can we see you next on air? All right, I think we're on Tuesday. Tuesday, tomorrow. So I've got one more show tomorrow, and then we're going to be off for at least a month, I think. So one show tomorrow, then maybe sometime in late November. So hopefully we'll see you in one of those shows. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. It's nice to be able to get around and show a few different things. So hope you got something out of it. Maybe see you tomorrow or next month. Check ya.